This is the Link 2C, a budget-friendly 4K webcam from Insta360. But this one does not have a gimbal. Nevertheless, it manages to retain a lot of the features and options that makes it stand out. And we're going to be checking that out today. Let's start by unboxing it. All right, so here's the box for the Link 2C. We're going to see what's inside. We'll remove the top part, and here we can see the mount and the webcam. Let's pull them out. The mount has a magnetic base here, and they warn you to put it in the center of it. It unfolds like this, so it goes like this on your monitor with the camera facing you. This part is also adjustable if I push, just to make sure to keep it level. And the bottom has a 1/4" thread, so it fits on any universal tripod. Okay, I'll also remove this part. Now let's remove the camera, just like that. And just slide it off. And this part is actually touch sensitive, so you can actually execute commands by tapping this. And in the front, it says Insta360, 4K, AI, and f1.8, that's the aperture, and 1/2 inch is the sensor size. In the back, we can see the USB port to plug it in, and the Insta360 logo. Now, placing them together is easy because it's magnetic, so it goes like this. And you can do little adjustments. Inside here, we should have the user manual, a QR code for the guide, and also some markers in case you want to use it with a whiteboard. You also get some free stickers. And here we have the markers. I'm not going to be demonstrating the whiteboard features, but I want to show you what the markers look like. So you basically place them in the corners, and the camera will not only focus on the whiteboard, but it will also flatten it so that everything is readable. Finally, inside the box, we will have our USB adapter, which is very practical. I have a collection of those now, and your USB cable. Since they give you an adapter, the cable is USB-C to USB-C, and there you have it. So first of all, this is what the webcam looks like. This is the quality. I'm at 4K 30 FPS right now, but I can bring it down to 1080p 60 FPS if I wanted to. It has true focus, so if you want to showcase a product or something like that, you can see it focuses on it with no problem whatsoever. That's just a random remote. And something kind of quirky with this one is that it comes with a manual shutter. So if you want to step out or something like that, or if you're done working with it, you can literally press and slide something on the side that acts like an actual functional shutter. It's so interesting to see. I usually keep the price for the end of my videos, but this is so interesting that I have to tell you right now. During Amazon Prime Day, it'll ship for $99.99 with an original price of $149.99. That's the best time to grab it while it's 33% off. Oh, and I have an extra gift for you. The first 10 orders placed with my link or use my code will receive a free mini tripod. That's the code on screen right now. I really like the fact that if you don't need a gimbal, you actually get to pay less without losing too many features, which we're gonna check out right now. So this is Link Controller, the software that will be controlling your webcam. I'm gonna turn on the preview. So now I'd like to show you what I mean when I say that you don't lose most of the features. For example, scene presets, you can record scene presets. You can save scene presets. This will basically take into account everything on this tab and more. You may not have a gimbal, but you can still zoom and frame your camera correctly. And this actually gets saved in your preset. If I click on this, it goes back. I can zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So there's the zoom. You can zoom out a little bit and go back to your saved preset. Some effects might require you to turn on a virtual camera here. So if you plan on using the virtual background, the makeup effects, the smart whiteboard, all you would have to do is select Insta360 virtual camera in your broadcasting software or whatever software you're using to record. So for the effects, we have blur that will blur the background with different levels of intensity. You can, decide. Usually you don't want to go too much unless you're actively trying to censor something, you're in a Zoom meeting. But if you're using this for content, then you want to keep it kind of low. Something like that is fine. If you want a more realistic type of blur, what you can do is use the bokeh effect. That is a different type of blur from a Gaussian blur. It doesn't just blur everything. It actually takes into account highlights and things like that to give it a shape as if it was emulating a lens from a camera. So I have it on right now, and you can see that this looks way more natural and less more like a filter, even though it is a filter. Then we have our virtual backgrounds. There's a lot of them. There's more gamer-like ones. There's neutral ones and animated ones too. And if you have a green screen, there is an option to key out the green. We also have filters to kind of play with the colors. We have some makeup effects. Look at that. Some beautify filters can make my skin super smooth. just like that, and you can stack it all together. Now, under image panel is where you have full control over your image, but just like I said about the Link 2 Pro, this is probably the only webcam where I'm like, hey, just leave everything automatic and you'll be fine. I have my white balance to be manual because I have colored lights, so I don't want it basically trying to adjust every time my background light basically changes the color. But other than that, autofocus is on. I trust it. And the HDR is basically making sure that everything is well balanced. And to save the presets, by the way, you have to go up here and click add new preset. And there you have it. Now for the extra features that I didn't expect them to still have without a gimbal, you can set up gestures. So if you want auto framing, all you have to do is put your palm up. Well, you have to activate it. First of all, put your palm up and there you have it. So without a gimbal, this is framing me perfectly. This is wild. I'll try to set up a more intense test. So I'll zoom in and you can already see just zooming in. So it may not have a gimbal, but digitally, it'll keep you in frame. There's another gesture for zooming. So I just have to place my hand like this. I'll see the camera blinking. And if I move up, it zooms in. And if I move down, it'll zoom out. You also get the smart composition feature at the bottom here. You can turn it on and you can basically decide if you want to frame yourself for the head or half of the body at all times. If I keep it on the head, for example, and I move back, it'll do its best to not only frame me, but also zoom in. Just like that, to make sure that only my head is visible at all times. Then we also have desk view, which doesn't automatically show your desk because there's no gimbal. So you can manually basically tilt the camera and then you have access to the vertical correction. So you still get the benefits, it's just that you need to do it yourself. So I will do just that. I'll just tilt the camera mount until you can see my desk and you can see I can play with the vertical correction to try to make it flat, just like that, and maybe zoom out a little bit. And there you go. So if I wanted to show you anything, show you stuff on my phone, for example, I can do this with no issues whatsoever. So desk view is a feature that is still available, except it's a little less automatic. You still have to tilt the camera down and adjust the angle yourself. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you double tap on the touchpad, pop, pop, it'll zoom in 1.5 and then double tap it again to reset. Now this software covers a bunch of other features, but I try to highlight the most important one for me and my audience, which is mostly live streamers. So I urge you to go click on the link in the description and actually learn even more about this webcam. This is not a paid endorsement, but I am an affiliate, so if you decide to buy it, I might be making a small commission. But in case you're not part of my typical audience, I can quickly tell you that there's a teleprompter feature right there where you can load up a script. I'll find a random test file here, then click on Start Teleprompter. I have to capture it with another camera, but basically this pops up with your text and you can place it right underneath where the camera is. So it's like you're almost looking directly into the camera, and then just click play. It'll do a countdown and start your teleprompter. They also have AI recording to transcribe what you're saying and also improve the audio. There's also whiteboard mode, which we saw the markers for, but there's also smart whiteboard, which will just scan the image and detect any whiteboard and focus on it. Like I said, it's a lot, especially for a webcam that's $99 right now. Make sure you check out the links in the description and I'll see you next time. I get to do this. So cool.